With multiple PoE+++ 90-watt ports, it can directly power multi-LEO satellite terminals.
Well, I'm going to give that an asterisk because not exactly, but with a step-up adapter, this just might work. Let's test it. Now what I have here is the PRO CET. How's it going? Just making a video. Whoops. All right, the step-up adapter that I have here is the PRO CET adapter, and I also have a cable that has the Starlink power connector on one side, and then two pins coming out directly for power on the other end, which we inserted. I'll include both a link to this and to the step-up adapter in the description down below. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this cable, which is plugged in, as I mentioned, into the PoE+++ Ethernet port on the UCG Industrial. I'm going to plug it into the PoE side of the adapter here. You can go, it's fine, it's pointing at me. Now it's hard to see out here in the sunlight, but this light is lit, showing that there is power. And what I'm going to do now is plug that end into my Starlink Mini, and then I have a cable already plugged into the network port of the Starlink Mini, and I'll include a diagram for all of this. I'm going to plug the other end of that into the LAN side. So as you can see here, this is what's going back to the rack, this is what's going into the Starlink, and then the other side of this power cable here is also going into the Starlink. As you can see right over here, you've got your power cable and then your data cable. And it's really hard to see out here in the bright sunlight, but there is a little blue LED light, status light there, that's showing that the Starlink is online. So I'm going to position this down on the ground now and point it towards the north sky, because that's usually where I am able to get signal from, and we're going to let that heat up. All right, so it seems I haven't used my Starlink in a little while, so I just had to do a whole bunch of troubleshooting. Turns out there's a manual software firmware update that I had to do, so that's running now. But the fact of the matter is, it is currently running off of the UCG Industrial PoE+++ internet port, which is fantastic. That's exactly what we wanted. It's working. We got there, Starlink. Starlink really is quite incredible when you realize that there's this little 10-inch dish that I just pointed at the sky, and now it's downloading internet, downloading an update via the internet. I love this thing. Fantastic. I probably should have booted this thing up and tested it at home first, but hey, power draw right now is 21 watts. Well, there you have it, folks. Online. Now I'm getting 100 meg down while it's downloading a software update. More than 100 meg, 110. Getting 20 meg up. Let me just give you a close-up overview of what we have here. This is a Starlink bumper that I have on here. It's a, protection case, whatever. You can see the two cables that are going into the back here. You've got the gray one is your power cable that's going into the power side of the PoE injector. The white one is a Ubiquiti cable. I don't recommend using the Ubiquiti cable with this because that's now stuck in there, and I've got to go in there with my Leatherman and get it out like I did in one of my previous videos. So see if you can get a Starlink Ethernet cable that has that handy-dandy plug that you can just pull out that also maintains the waterproofing. Depending on your situation, you may want to get a longer cord, a longer power cord, as well as a long Ethernet cable, just so that you can have those cables running, a long distance through whatever your setup is. And then on the other end here, you've got the power back to the rack, which is this black cable, which goes all the way back into where I have the UCG Industrial set up. And then this is that white cable that we saw before. So just to show you that, just remember, green is on this side, that's where the power goes. On this side, you've got the black, which is the power, the true power, and the rack is PoE, and the LAN is going into the Starlink. All right, I'm gonna end the video there because I gotta go get my kids, but it works. You can power the Starlink Mini directly through, well, Asterisk directly with a step-up converter through the UCG Industrial, plugged directly in and getting internet. So great success there. I'm going to continue playing with this. I'm going to update the rest of my Starlink dishes and see if there's a way to get them working, as well as maybe buy a couple more of these different adapters. If you have questions or recommendations for other adapters that I should try, let me know. There's a couple of companies that have reached out to me to review some of their Starlink gear because of my other reviews that I have done on Starlink in the past, so maybe I'll reach out to them and see if they can send me some of their adapters as well, so that I can continue trying with these. And I'm hoping that Ubiquiti brings this functionality to more of the lineup. Yeah, it's great on the industrial, but I'd love to be able to power the Starlink dish, any of my Starlink dishes, from my main rack with all of its wonderful battery power as well. Even if it's not in an industrial situation, I do have backup Starlink dishes on many locations, serving as, just in case the local backbone, cellular, etc. goes offline. I actually am working on a video showing that off, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed. As always, thanks for watching.